Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Trucker D here coming to you with my first video. So in this video, I'll be talking about truck stops, what to do, what not to do, the whole meat and potatoes of truck stops. Okay, so truck stops are a safe haven, but they're also can be dangerous places. A lot of shady stuff goes on in these truck stops, and you need to make sure that you're on point. Make sure you're on your toes, keep your head on the swivel. So when it comes to shutting down, depending on where you are, a lot of truck stops fill up fast. Some of them, it can be the middle of the day and they be packed. And then there's some, they can be empty all day. So me personally, I start looking for parking when I'm down to last hour and a half to an hour on my clock. That's when I start looking. And how I do that is I use an app called Trucker's Path. It's a very good app. I highly recommend that you download it. And if you don't know what Trucker's Path is, it basically tells you everything you need to know. It'll show you all the truck stops in America. It'll show you where they are, what they have. It'll tell you the number of parking spaces they have. It'll tell you if it's full, empty, or if there's some spots. Now, depending on where you are, like I know on the East Coast, those truck stops, basically once the sun goes down, people are pulling in and shutting down. If you're out west, depending on where you are, you might get a spot any time of day or night. But generally, from my experience, I notice around 4 p.m. all the way up until 8. If you're not in a spot by like 8 o'clock, 7:30, forget it. And if you can get a spot, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a tight ass spot that no one can get into. It can be done, but it's gonna be hard 9 times out of 10. Now, generally, spots start opening up around 4 a.m., 5 a.m. That's generally when spots open up, but between like 9 o'clock and like 3 o'clock, ain't nobody really moving. Okay, so when you enter a truck stop, you wanna make sure that you take your time. Have your lights on, have your 4-ways on. I would say don't go any faster than 5 miles an hour because there's really no need to be hauling ass. In these truck stops, there's really no need for it. When you enter a truck stop, explore the truck stop. And what I mean by that, circle around, see what spots they have, see what you can get into. Make sure that you have enough swing room to get in it, because you'll notice some drivers, they'll be parked, their nose of their trucks will be further out into the street than others, and that could be a problem. So like I said, me personally, I like to go for the easiest spot that I know I can get into, whether it be a pull through or just a spot, along the fence, because I don't like drivers parked behind me. That's just my preference, but sometimes you don't have a choice. You just gotta get in where you can get in at. When you set up in these truck stops, your setup is everything. Setup is everything. Don't be afraid to get out and look. Matter of fact, make sure you get out and look. Whenever in doubt, get out and look, because some truck stops, you might have to blindside, which we all hate, but sometimes it has to be done. It is what it is. But make sure you get out and look, because don't be that guy that hits somebody's shit. Don't. Another thing is, since I'm new, sometimes I get laughed at on the CB. I don't pay that any mind, because nobody's a perfect backer out here. Everybody was new at some point. Like I said, get out and look. Don't let nobody rush you. Just take your time, because I'd rather take forever to get in a spot than rush and hit somebody's shit. Some of these truck stops, you'll find that people will help you. You could take the help or decline it. I take the help. But I'm at the point now where I get the gist of it. So, don't be afraid to pull up. I don't know why drivers look down on drivers who do pull-ups. I mean, it's okay. You don't get a bonus for getting a one-shot, one kill. But anyway, I don't want to get off topic. So when you're backing, you want to make sure that your tires are as close to the left side. Well, basically, you want to be as close to the driver's passenger side. You don't want to be too close to the right side, because when you park too close to the right side, the driver next to you won't be able to open his door. So make sure you're as close to the left side of the line as you can. Another thing is, when it comes to parking, it's okay to reserve parking depending on where you're going. Like if you're going to like a major city somewhere where you know there ain't gonna be parking, just go ahead and reserve it. You know, call the Loves or reserve it on the app. They have the Loves app, the Pilot app. Reserve a spot. I do it all the time. When you're walking through these truck stops, make sure you have your head on the swivel. Don't be looking down. Don't be looking lost. Look like you know what you're doing. Because, you know, there's always somebody watching. When you're inside the truck stop, don't be in there chopping it up with random people. Get in and get out. Shit, shower, shave, eat, and take your butt back to your truck. Don't be in the lounge, you know, chopping it up, telling drivers all your personal business and this and that, because you don't know their intentions. A lot of times, like I'm in San Antonio at this Petro, you'll notice there'll be like a lot of homeless people walking around asking you for change. I mean, it's okay to give them a few change here and there, but don't engage in conversations because you don't know what they're leading. They're leading up to something. If they're trying to get into a random conversation, they're leading up to something. So just keep it short and sweet. Give them the change, keep it moving. When you're getting fuel in these truck stops, make sure you're in the fuel island if you're getting fuel. Don't be that driver, and I can't stand this, don't be that driver that's taking a 30 in the fuel island. There's a whole spot full of parking spots. Just go park in one. Don't be lazy. Also, when you're done fueling, just pull forward. Don't just stay in the spot because you have other drivers behind you. Just be courteous to other drivers, okay? When it comes to taking showers in these truck stops, personally, I bring my own towels, washcloths, soap, and make sure, guys, you wear shower shoes because you don't want to catch nothing. Wear your shower shoes. I don't trust the towels. I don't trust the washcloths. And let me tell you something about these towels. They use those towels to wipe the floors, the toilets. Just don't. Bring your own. Bring your own. When it comes to the food, I really don't eat the food because, you know, I don't eat from everybody. But usually, the pilots, they usually have Subway, McDonald's, Arby's, Love's, same thing. The TAs and Petros, some of them have like McDonald's, Popeyes. TAs have Country Pride. Usually the Petros have Iron Skillet. I don't eat at any of them. So me personally, I eat out of my truck because I have, you know, a fridge. I rarely ever eat in the truck stops. When it comes to doing your pre-trips, personally, I always do mine where it's light, where I can see, because a lot of times I roll at nighttime. So I do my pre-trips, you know, after I get fuel or near the fuel island or by the scale. Also, a lot of times you'll see that drivers get desperate out here when they're running low on hours. So they'll park anywhere. They'll park in the fuel islands. They'll park on the scale. I've seen drivers park on the scale. Yes, on the scale. They'll parallel next to the scale. A lot of times they'll park right in front of you. They'll just park right in front of you. They'll park behind you. So just, if that happens, you know, just kindly, you know, knock on their door. You don't have to be an ass about it because I know it's gonna irritate the hell out of you because I've had it happen to me. I was out here in Kentucky, and this guy was parked right in front of me. And that also reminds me, don't park on the end of a row. And what I mean by that is you're more likely to get hit by another truck if you park on the end. So try not to if you don't have to. Another thing is check your equipment. If I already said it, just check it. Because yes, you will get your stuff cut if you're not careful.